Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
All right, Mr. Sommerfeld, if you just unmute and start your video. Mr. Sommerfeld, just need you to
Am I
unmute and
there?
start your video.
Can you hear me
We
now?
can hear you. How
All
about
right.
start your video? We've got you. I see you, Mr. Sommerfeld.
Okay, there we are.
Okay, so now I'm going to turn back to your attorney because we're looking for compliance with the court order from last July. We got nothing. What do we have?
Your Honor, it looks like this is first proof by date missed in December. There's been no new law violations. We're asking the court to give an extension of that time to provide proof information.
So when should we expect compliance after 6 months?
Mr. Sommerfeld, another 30 days.
I did the drug and alcohol evaluation.
Where'd you do that?
In July
And where?
at right side. Does that sound right? Right. In
Right
Olympia.
Step?
In
Right Step?
Right Step in Lacey.
Nobody told us you did that. Nobody gave us that evaluation. So you may need to go.
Okay. And when I went in there, I told them, they asked me, did you quit drinking? And I said, no, I still have a few occasional drinks. She says, no, they want you to stop drinking.
Yep.
And
You were
so
forced to stop.
that's basically what I've done.
Okay.
I've literally quit drinking in the last 6 months.
Good.
Um,
Mr.
can I
Sommerfeld,
tell you something else? I tried to go to counseling and I tested positive for COVID, and they told me to please not come in.
Mr. Sommerfeld, let's you're supposed to do. Judge Buckley took your plea and he ordered you onto probation. So you're on probation. And
Yes.
Probation, I'm glad to hear you stopped drinking. That was part of it.
Yes.
Also, don't, which you've also successfully done. We're glad about that. The other issue, though, is we needed to see that evaluation and find out what that evaluator thought, what kind of treatment you needed, if any. And then we needed you to do that treatment. And we needed you to go to something called a victim impact panel, which is a program where you hear from people who've been affected by impaired drivers. So
and I understand that. I did that on my own. I did that 3 times.
What did you do?
I went to two middle schools and a high school and spoke to the children there.
Well, that's not what we asked you to do, but that's a good thing to do. So that evaluation from the right step, do you remember what they thought you needed to do?
When I got evicted, I lost all that paperwork, which I also taped all my COVID test little pods to, because when they didn't want me in their little meetings because I had COVID. But anyway, I think it was if I remember right, she wanted me to go twice a week for 4 weeks or 8 weeks or something like that. I really can't remember.
All right, so this is the bottom line. It's been a good 6 months since you did that, and maybe the right step will provide you a copy of that evaluation. You get it into probation, and then you do the treatment program. And
but I think I went over and above. I think I went over and above.
I don't think so. The court does not agree with you. I find that you're not in compliance. So that's what we need from you. So I'm glad that you haven't any other violations. I'm glad that you found that not drinking works for you, because that was also the court order, is don't use alcohol, marijuana, or non-prescribed drugs. Don't go to bars or taverns. So I'm going to kind of let that slide. I think you had an understanding and an education from the right step.
But I definitely went to the right step. I had an evaluation. I think it was in July. Okay. And then I kind of felt like I wasn't sure where to go. And then I got sick, and I was sick. I've been very sick. I've lost my job. I was evicted from my home. anyway, it's been a rough go, but on top of all that, I've stayed on top of the whole situation. I've made this a priority in my life to make sure I can keep clean and keep a clean driving record and all that.
Yep, you've done that. That's good.
I'm willing to do a victim impact. I'll do anything you want me to do. I'm not scared. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Like I said, I've voluntarily went and spoke to children, and I've been to many AA meetings and all kind of stuff. So
You still doing AA, or you just kind of go?
Well, I recently got evicted, and due to transportation problems, it's kind of hard to keep up with it, to be honest with you. So, but it's not that I'm not doing my work though. I can do it on my own, you know. I'm just not. I call people. I got a cell phone. I stay in contact and all that. So yeah, I'm still doing it. I'm just having kind of a rough time. That's all. And I'm embarrassed to say that. I'm very embarrassed to say that I can't take care of myself right now, but I'm doing the best I can, and I'm also taking care of my family and stuff. So.
Okay, good. Let me ask the prosecutor something. So are there other DUIs or the like in other jurisdictions? Washington doesn't thing. And you don't recall that? Okay.
I will
I'm
check
clean.
that. I see here.
Get a former Boise address and Alaska address, just wondering.
Yeah.
Not seeing an NCIC in the file.
I'm clean. I take care of business.
I'm not seeing an NCIC in the file, and if he did have prior DUIs for out of state that the state was aware of, we would have asked for the ignition interlock device, and the arraignment notes indicate that it was just a request for a standard DUI, so I don't have reason to believe he has any out of state priors.
All right. Well, this is what I'm thinking, and the attorneys, I'm sort of thinking out loud here. It's of ordering Mr. Sommerfeld to do an alcohol drug information school and a victim impact panel. Come on back. Give you time to do those two things.
How do I get the information to how to do all that?
Good question. And that's the next step. And I'm gonna see if I get buy-in or not from the attorneys here on that idea. And then we're gonna take those next steps. But so doing the alcohol drug information school, doing the victim impact panel, time to do it probably into March, having another hearing, and call that compliance. So, Mr. Holcomb, anything?
I'm not seeing any prior DUIs on Washington history either. The defendant did have a relatively high BAC of 0.14 to 0.157, but other than that, I have no basis to believe that an SUE wouldn't result in requesting ADIS and victim impact panel. So if the court believes that that's an appropriate way to resolve the matter, then the state has no objection.
All right. Mr. Stillwell, what do you think?
Yeah, that makes sense to me, Your Honor, and I think I can point Mr. Sommerfeld in the right direction with another date to get some of this done, and I think ADIS makes sense versus trying to go back.
Yeah. At this stage, in fact, not drinking and the way you're running your life now, I think that would be the evaluation. But so, Mr. Sommerfeld, this is the plan. We're going to set another date. It'll probably be late March, early April. I'm going to appoint Thurston County Public Defense. It's Mr. Stillwell's office. We're going to set what we call a pre-FTC. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to get alcohol drug information school is about an 8-hour program. You hear about the effects of alcohol and drugs on the body and lots of good information. And then the other program is the victim impact panel, and that's offered all around Western Washington, all around Washington. And you hear from people who've been affected by impaired drivers, and people call it sobering. That's the best term. It's a good program to kind of build empathy and understanding. So I'm going to have you do those two programs. I'm going to give you a good couple months to get those done. And then you're going to come back to court and those will be done. And then we'll be able to say you're in compliance. And then Judge Buckley wanted you on probation for 2 years out to July of 2025. And if those programs are done, then what you got to do is just stay clean and sober and law abiding, which you've been very successful at thus far. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so then the next step, couple of next steps. First off, let's see. So we're gonna pick that date today and I'll give that to you, but do you have a mailing address that we should update? I still have a
No, it should be on
258.
file.
Okay,
Should be
so,
on- You know, I bought that house 40 years ago and I've given it to my daughter, so that's where my
And it's-
mailing is.
Graham, Washington,
Yep,
98338.
yep.
Okay, and we've had a text message reminder number. Is that, what's that number? So we can remind you that.
907.
Okay, we got that. All right, so now we're gonna put you together with Mr. Stillwell so that you can be sure that the two of you are in communication to give you direction on the Alcohol Drug Information School and Victim Impact Panel. So
Can
how
I,
should,
can I ask you, is this gonna cost a lot of money?
I hope not. It won't cost what it costs to have an evaluation.
So Mr. Sommerfeld, now that we've got your phone number, what I'll do, and we've been appointed, I'll be in touch with you today and we'll set up a time to talk and I can go through both of these classes and help you find resources and work with you on ones that make sense.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right,
so now we'll pick a court date.
I've been sick for 6 months and I've been out of work for a while and money's tight right now. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we're gonna set this out a couple months. So
I don't
what-
want to fail because I can't pay for it.
And I don't want you to fail because you can't pay for it either. You know, we're gonna think that that's not a good reason. So April 4th at 1:30. So April 4th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Got a good 2 months then. You've got a contact now with Mr. Stillwell. He'll be talking to you about resources to get those things done. Any other questions?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Then that's it for today, and I'll see you April 4th at 1:30.
Thank you.
Thank you. Look at that 2 o'clock calendar.